What is going on, everybody? Welcome to, and now today she's going to talk some more taxes with each of you. Legislative Director Amber Marr, with her as always, trusty sidekick. Taxes have been done a little while. Jason Thompson, not the Legislative Director.
So you are telling the world that I was a little cutting it to the deadline, right? Then
No, I think it's.
That you got
I don't know when. Actually, when is the deadline? Is it? We're recording this on. I think when they're due. I don't know.
I think they're due tomorrow.
Okay. But, yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
But here's the weird part. On my calendar, it does say. Oh no, it says it for. I think the 15th. I don't know. It's the 15th.
Yeah, I think it's the 15th. I think we're good. You're good. Hope you filed them at home. Hope you got some money back. If not, better luck next year. So, Amber, how are you? How are things?
Good. They're good. The sun is shining today, so I think that is. I think
it's something new.
Yeah, it's been very dreary and cold. I think I said the same exact thing on the last episode. I don't know why we always start out with the weather, but yeah.
Well, it's springtime. Hope spring's eternal, but the weather is being a bit of a jerk. So what are you gonna do? So I alluded to it in our little intro. Today's bills that we're talking about from this past session are tax related, not necessarily filing your own taxes, but there's some tax issues that we worked on that we want to tell you about. And yeah, there it is. Taxes. Don't turn this off. Taxes are cool. This is a good topic to talk about. It's important. Learn something, stick around. Don't let the tax talk scare you. Agreed. And now let's go on with the show.
Okay.
Amber, let's go. What's the first bill up?
The first bill is Senate Enrolled Act 145, which is titled Property Tax Matters. Now,
vague.
What?
It's very vague.
Yeah, it's a great title. Excuse me. So this particular bill, or Enrolled Act, I guess, we have been working to pass for a number of years. We refer to this bill as the dark store loophole bill. These basically, over the past couple of years, tax revenues have been being eroded by a theory of tax assessments that have come to be known as what we just said, dark store loophole. These loopholes are coming from large retail establishments that are actually not paying their property taxes the way that, with the amount that they really should be. So, I guess without getting super into the weeds, this bill is supposed to hold those retail stores, hold their feet to the fire to really pay what their property taxes are. So that's kind of where we're at. We have worked, like I said, we've worked on this bill for years. I feel like it's been a really long time, but we finally, we had to make a couple of tweaks to it. This year, we got it all the way through the process, and hopefully this bill will now help local governments actually receive the tax revenue from these retail stores that they actually deserve to receive.
Yeah, because basically, if I recall, it was these large big box stores would get their property tax assessment for the whatever the dollar amount is per square footage.
Yes.
But they would be like, no, they would appeal it because there's a vacant big box store down the street. And they're saying, no, we should be charged what that is being valued for, even though it's closed and not in any kind of operation.
Correct.
Okay. And they were putting local governments in a bit of a bind.
Yes.
By doing that.
And sometimes local governments would have to just accept the appeal, because if they didn't and they took them to court, it would cost even more money for local governments to go to court and argue. So they were just sort of spinning their wheels and using all of that money. So oftentimes, they would just have to accept the lower amount that had been appealed, which is also not okay. I think one of the things that I wanted to make sure that we recognize, even when we're anytime we're talking about property taxes. We totally understand that adjustments to one classification of property taxes can have serious implications for another. So no matter what we're talking about, if we're making individuals or retail stores pay what they owe, that can also affect other things down the road. But we are obviously, with this bill, we wanted to make sure that the lost revenue that has been happening no longer happens, one. And then looking at these local communities, this lost revenue can really jeopardize the financial stability of those local communities throughout our state. And obviously, we work really hard for local communities to stay livable and to have other services. And that is why we got involved in this. Because when these entities are able to escape their responsibility, the burden is shifted onto other taxpayers, so homeowners, renters, other businesses, and that shift can really affect Hoosier homeowners, especially older Hoosiers that own their home, particularly hard.
Perfect. Yep. All right. Cool. What's something else? What's another?
Goodness. We are moving
house
right
and
along
roll?
here.
Yeah, we're not messing around.
We're not messing around. Okay, so the next one is Senate Enrolled Act 382, and I am just gonna. Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes for this because this is another bill. We have talked about this in the past as well, where we supported the original bill, which was actually Senate Bill 262. But 262 did not receive a hearing in the House Ways and Means Committee. And so because it wasn't heard in the House, there was language from Senate Bill 262 that was inserted into Senate Enrolled Act 382. So I just wanted to make sure that we kind of said the process on that, because Senate Bill 262 was actually the low-income housing tax credit bill. This is an opportunity for developers to apply for a low-income housing tax credit to help build and increase our affordable housing here in the state of Indiana. This is usually held through, or the oversight is through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. So we were very supportive of this particular bill. And again, it is Senate Enrolled Act 382, which is various tax matters. But the language that this bill is very big, but there's a language in there that we supported that was originally Senate Bill 262. And it all deals with affordable housing and having these tax credits that developers can apply for if they meet certain criteria. And IHCDA has all of that criteria on their website. And we really encourage developers to take advantage of these tax credits so that we can increase our affordable housing here in the state.
Yeah, it's important, as that's kind of it's an issue that is starting, I guess, to grow in regards to being in the front of people's minds in regards to just the lack of housing in certain levels that we need.
And, we have continuously talked about, whether it's coming from AARP Indiana or other community partners, there's a tremendous opportunity right now and need to transform our housing just to make sure that Hoosiers have the chance to age at home where they want to be. And we say that all the time.
Awesome. What's the I think this is the third and final bill we're going to talk about on today's show. What do we
lightning
round? just knocking it out.
Going. Okay, so yes, the last bill that we're going to talk about is House Enrolled Act 1260. The title of this is Department of Local Government Finance, and yet another bill, and I apologize, this gets very confusing. House Enrolled Act 1260 actually contains language from Senate Bill 236, which we originally supported, regarding increasing the maximum assessed value of the real property for an individual at least 65 years of age or older to be eligible for a deduction. And we kind of talked about this. This is already something that exists in the state of Indiana, this tax deduction. However, because of the housing market, a lot of individuals that were or that used to be able to apply for this tax deduction actually sort of their homes priced out of it. So your assessed value used to have to be $200,000 or below. Well, there are a lot of homes that fit into that category, and now because of the housing market, it no longer is in that 200,000 or below assessed value. And so we were trying to continue to allow individuals over the age of 65 that can barely afford to stay in their homes because of the rise, the rise in assessed value. We increased 200,000 to 300,000 to try to capture some of those folks that were already getting that tax deduction prior to this housing market. And then I'm trying to think if there was anything else. It did not change the income level. It only changed the assessed value. So although Senate Bill 236 had a lot of other language in there to kind of help this particular tax program, the language that was inserted into House Enrolled Act 1260 actually only dealt with the assessed value. So it was originally 200,000. This particular bill increases it to 300,000 for individuals over the age of 65. And if their home is now assessed value at a $300,000 level or below, they can now take advantage of that tax credit again. I'm sorry, tax deduction.
Awesome. Good work.
Does that make sense?
It does. That's great. Okay. Well, those are the bills we were talking about today. Taxes. For those of you who love this subject, you're welcome. For those of you who don't, you're also welcome. It's good information. Who do we have for shout outs? I think we got a shout out.
I do have a shout out. So I am going to shout out to our friend Ryan, who we have worked for years on the dark store loophole bill. It has been such a pleasure to work alongside him. I know that probably at the beginning, he definitely had to school me a little bit around just taxes in general. So I was very appreciative of his knowledge and expertise. And then as the years have gone by and we have struggled to really get movement on this bill this year, I just wanted to say congratulations. We did it. We finally did it. Although we had to make a few compromises just around, how the bill was written. I think we were very happy that we have finally made this issue or have watched this issue make it through the whole process. So thank you, Ryan. Thanks for putting up with me for all of these years and trying to get this bill through with us. We're really grateful for you.
Yes. Good work, Ryan, for helping get this thing across the finish line. It's a important kind of under the radar issue that a lot of folks don't necessarily know about it. So good work to you.
I think he's going to try to, continue to pull me into other tax discussions. So we'll see how that goes for him.
I wish him the best of luck.
Me too.
In this endeavor. So yes. Awesome. Well, good work. We will be coming again soon with another episode on a different variety of bills. Got a lot of good content and shows coming your way in the upcoming weeks. We'll be talking transportation. We'll be talking housing. We'll be talking all sorts of other things. So it's gonna be good stuff. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. You know where to find this if you're listening to us on the podcast. You can always find it at Legislative Director, talking about legislative things, our website, aarp.org/legislative things. And yeah, Amber, anything else for the good of the order?
I don't think so. I just, I'm really happy to be bringing some of these issues to the forefront and getting a chance to sort of group them together so we're not overwhelming people on what we're doing. So yeah.
It's the feedback we got. It was just too much. There's just too many wins that we were involved in. I don't know. I'm making that up. We maybe got some feedback.
I mean, we're definitely open to feedback. I just wasn't sure if you really received that.
Pretty sure you can hit us up in the comments if you really want to leave some feedback, though that makes me a little nervous. But I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So I think this is a good way to take it in kind of smaller chunks, similar themed, and it's more fun to talk about these issues this way.
I agree.
Cool. All right. Well, Amber, thank you as always.
Thank
you.
For
those of you that are listening and watching, thank you as well. And please join us next time on the Legislative Director, talking about legislative things.